for a couple.
Your host, Nick.
Want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you today. Rico, hello.
Hello.
How we doing?
Doing fantastic, sir.
You get all giddy on trade deadline day.
I get giddy on opening day of the NBA, trade deadline.
That's your, yeah.
I just love the NBA so much, and the Knicks just got better.
Did they get Zach LaVine?
No, because they're gonna have to give up way too much, and also I don't want Zach LaVine.
You should.
I don't. They're fine.
Okay,
the Knicks are fine the way they are. They don't need a guy that's being paid way too much and can't stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, so what's interesting? We got a full show ahead. Right here on the Happy Hour. It's been a really good week. Appreciate you guys sticking around with us. 402-464-5685. We'll get to a couple NBA trade deadline things, but I know Rico and Bach went pretty deep on it and extensively covered that. So
hit some things.
We'll kind of talk about that very short. It's going to be a quicker first segment here because in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to be joined by Nebraska pitcher and senior captain Kyle Perry. Formerly, obviously, a Millard South grad. He's been here for quite a while now for Nebraska baseball, seeing the ups, seeing the downs. I'm kind of interested in getting his perspective. Obviously, also the host of Uncut with Kyle Perry, weeknights here on The Ticket. So we'll talk to KP here in about 10 minutes or so as we get you ready for Husker baseball season. We got to hear from Will Bolt yesterday. Shea Shanneman and Kyle Perry are two guys that have both been elected captains, but also didn't have to come back. Mm-hmm. And so Kyle Perry's an interesting story because he's had two Tommy John surgeries in the last 2 seasons, two of the last 3 seasons. He came back 2 years ago and was able to pitch in that Arkansas regional and actually had a really good outing against the Razorbacks. But he just a different, interesting story because he's undergone 2 Tommy John operations and yet decided to come back to Nebraska. So we'll talk to him.
It's a lot. It's crazy to hear somebody come back from one Tommy John. So going under the knife for a second time and making a comeback is going to be really impressive. And I kind of want to know where his mind is at. When he heard that he was going to have to get a second one, and just the thought process of like, am I going to continue to pitch? Am I going to do whatever? And when you do finally get your mind to it that you're going to come back and you're going to pitch, how was it like when you first came back and you were able to do some of those long tosses and maybe get back into the bullpen? I
feel like there is some nervousness like the first time that you start throwing again.
Oh yeah. I don't doubt that.
You don't know how it's going to feel.
I mean, that's how it is with like a lot of injuries, but especially that, because pitchers, if you ever watch like a slow-mo, and if you played baseball, like the arm, it doesn't look natural when you're pitching.
Well,
like your elbow is all bent,
not a natural
weird
movement.
No, it's not, and it just looks so weird. So I can imagine injuring something there and then going back and doing the same thing must be terrifying.
So here's what's interesting, because I heard you and Bach talking about the college baseball run rule, and what's now something that people might, with that conversation of the unnatural arm movement. The blowout wins and the blowout losses are great to watch as a just a common baseball fan,
just as a fan,
because it's something new, something different. And however, if you're a pitcher in that situation, you don't want to pitch the 7th, 8th, or the 8th and 9th inning when your team is losing or winning 20-1, because with it not being a natural arm motion,
it's a 10 run, so just 10-0.
Okay, 10-0. That's exactly.
If it's 20-1, I understand.
Okay, so 11-1. Yeah. That was the example you guys used. It's not a natural arm motion. So in that one of those innings, you could win that game 12-1, and somebody could walk away and go, "Man, we decided not to cancel the game or call the game after the 7th inning when nothing else happened after." I get the whole competition side of things, but the injury, now it's different in softball. Softball does the 10-run rule, but what's interesting that's a more natural arm motion. So that's why you see softball pitchers throwing 120 pitches or 110 and then coming back 2 days later and doing it again.
You get the World Series, it's the same pitcher for the team the entire time.
Because if you have one ace, you're going to throw her every single time you can, and there's no limits on pitches for softball. Alexander. So what happened?
Shout out to what she plays for for James Madison.
Yes,
and she pitched the entire time.
So it's just kind of that's when people ask why the 7-run limit or 7-run rule, or 7th inning mercy rule, where if you're up by 10 runs or more after the 7th inning, then they call the game. It's more of a health thing than I think anything.
What if you're up 10-0 and you've got like a no hitter or a perfect game going?
Well, then you have the perfect game through 7 innings.
Does it count?
Why not?
Because you got 2 more innings.
Now, and so that's what somebody said.
People have gotten hits in the 9th inning.
Unnamed texter says SEC conference baseball games have a 10-run rule now this year in the 7th or later, and that's exactly why. Also, Arkansas Vanderbilt, it will never be a 10-run game.
I want to see
it will never be.
Not between them, but I want to see one of them going against a different.
Well, they'll do it in SEC. It doesn't. They'll do it in 6 innings against Missouri.
I need Arkansas to destroy Missouri.
They will. Necessary. I'm sure they will. Former Husker Cody Frank, obviously, on that team as well.
Shout out to Cody Frank.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we get to talk to Cal Perry of Husker baseball. Prep you guys for the season from one of Nebraska's captains and most experienced players. We'll do that next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Radio Rico AC. More out next on The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's effort. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com. with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside with their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human food ball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
Gentlemen, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Don't be that guy running to the store for flowers and a card on your way home. Hey, Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. We have great Valentine's gifts in store now. And if you spend $90, we'll throw in a free bouquet of a dozen roses. Give her what she really wants this year and let us do the rest. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, your hometown jeweler since 1905 in Lincoln and Grand Island, online at sartorheyman.com.
Max 10 for men. Bye-bye golfer lines and t-shirt 10s. Take it to the max at Max 10. Get a 30-day pass, just $25. With stand-ups and laydowns for men of stature. Be a Max 10 man. Get 30 days for just $25 now at all 4 Lincoln Max 10 locations.
Chances are you tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. We encourage those who go out to plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Happy Hour on the Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico hanging out with you guys as usual. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Feel free to send in any thoughts, any opinions, and any questions for our next guest, Husker baseball captain and left-handed pitcher, Kyle Perry. Kyle, what's up, man? How's it going?
Boys, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today. How are you guys?
Good. Hey, dude, listen, we're about a week out. I can kind of tell by how you're talking already, but are you excited?
Oh, dude, I'm juiced. I'm absolutely juiced, man. Every day is it's a treat for us over here. You know, it's we're down to single-digit days till the season. Everyone's been chomping at the bit since the fall. So I'd say guys are pretty juiced right now.
KP, okay, so you had two arm injuries, right? They were both Tommy John. Why?
Yeah, well, one was the full Tommy John reconstruction. The other one, nonetheless, two elbow surgeries.
Why?
So, yeah.
Why come back? Why you didn't have to come back? Why come back for another year?
The better question is really why not? I mean, it really didn't take much thought. I didn't put any thought into whether I should come back, enter the portal. That never once crossed my mind. It was all right, what do I need to do to get this thing fixed? And what do I need to do to put myself in a position to be able to play this year,
was there ever a moment where it was like, because with the transfer portal, I mean, you guys as a program have utilized the transfer portal. I think this is like your third straight year having 20 new guys on the roster going into the season or something like that. But either way, I mean, how much is that a conversation, like transfer portal just around the country within your guys?
I like you said, there's so many guys that came in, whether it was, from the portal or not. I mean, obviously it's a huge conversation around college athletics. It's changed the entire landscape, But I mean, I wouldn't say those discussions, it's maybe a couple of guys ask them, what their process was, in the portal, but we don't really talk much about it. Kind of like, it's kind of one of those things that, if you're coming from the portal, we'd love to have you, but, we don't want you leaving us to go to the portal necessarily, so it's one of those things. So, I guess it gets mentioned every now and then, but not so much.
We're talking to Kyle Perry. Are there any stories that you can share that you've heard from what it's like? Because I think like just sport fans and college sport fanatics like all over are all curious, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball. of what the portal is like, because just as fans and now like somebody that covers the sports, we see a lot of guys go in and not a lot come out. I mean, have you heard any stories of like, yikes, that the portal is evil?
Yeah, the portal is evil, man. And thankfully and by choice, I don't have any individual experiences, thank God. But it's crazy because you hear guys and guys that have been at a university, 2, 3, maybe 4 years, going to graduate, transfer, whatever. And I think it's kind of neat though, because if you're in that position, you've already gotten past the high school recruiting pitches and how easy it is to commit to something that, and you get there and it might not be all that you were promised or all that it was looking like to you. And so you get to cut through the BS sorta. And so I guess a couple of stories I've heard is just, guys that have been getting hit the same, high school pitch from other schools that a 16, 17-year-old kid would commit to, but then they finally, get their match, and a couple of guys that landed here, we're like, you know what, this isn't, the BS that we've been told in the past. This is what it is. This coaching staff shoots them straight. And, but that's been pretty much the only experiences really that I've heard, on the baseball side of it. But I think that's pretty neat though, that guys get to see both sides of the spectrum.
We're talking to Kyle Perry of Husker Baseball right here on the Happy Hour. And Kyle, I mean, when you add so many pieces to a roster like Nebraska has over the last couple of years, and you've been there throughout it all, how difficult is it to get on the same page? I mean, because you're adding all these new teammates that are experienced college baseball players, but for those guys, they're learning a new system, they're learning new signs, signals, how a program operates on a day-to-day basis. I mean, is that something that it just takes time to kind of figure out?
Sure. I'd be lying to you if I said it would be the same process, as if we had maybe single digit newcomers coming in. It's absolutely different. And I think it's I think it's pretty cool though, because with so many new faces, you get to build these new relationships and meet these new guys. And I'd say yeah, sure. It takes a little bit longer than it normally would, but I mean, with this group, man, it's been so easy. It took us just a couple weeks, and all it took was just a conscious effort from guys that have been here, guys that have gotten to deal with, all the BS in the past, that might not have worked out. That we know what's expected of us, and we're here for a reason. So it's just that conscious effort of getting the boys together, becoming a unit, teaching all the new guys, the culture, how we do things around here, and I think it's really that whole process has made us, by default, a lot closer than if we were just letting time do its thing and not really put in that effort.
Well, it's interesting because like you mentioned the leadership and the experience and kind of just instilling how you guys operate into the new guys, young and old. You've kind of been through it all. I mean, not to dwell in the past necessarily, but 2 years ago, you have that incredible season at Arkansas, or that ends at Arkansas in the regional. And you had a lot of experience on that team. I mean, second round picks don't grow on trees like, Schwelly or you don't have Jackson Hallmark and just a lot of older guys thanks to that COVID season. But then last year you guys struggle a little bit. So now how, as an old guy, or, an older guy yourself, how are you guys approaching this season differently? I mean, is there any change to what you guys are preaching or saying?
I don't even think that last year we really changed a whole lot. I think it was I just think it was just a tough year. Baseball can be a really humbling game. And so we battled a few injuries early last year and the things just didn't fall into place last year and it sucked because it kind of feels like a wasted year. I went down with an injury, man, and I'll tell you that was one of the more torturous things I've ever had to go through, man. Just watching our team struggle while I can't do diddly squat about it, So, I mean, and the guys that are in leadership roles, we're on that team. We're on that 2021 team that saw a lot of success. That team came out and we were prepared to win, expected to win every single day, and I think all of us old guys that were there are definitely bringing that same mindset into practice, throwing live, whatever we might be doing that day. I think we're bringing that same mindset that 2021 team, had throughout the entire roster. And it's really showing just in the way everyone's really going about their business around here.
We're speaking with Kyle Perry, left-handed pitcher on the Nebraska baseball team. And Kyle, we talked with Abby Squire and Nate Rohr of Husker softball earlier this week about their long road trips to start the season. You guys don't have as long on the road before you return home for your first series. But how do you, being the old guy on the roster, and we're going to keep calling you old because it's true.
Bro, yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Being the old guy on the roster, how do you prepare the younger guys for these road trips? I mean, you're going to San Diego and then going to Mobile, Alabama. How do you get these guys ready to balance school and also preparing for the games you're going to play?
Man, the way I've really thought about it, and I haven't really verbalized it. Maybe I need to, but these road trips, man, are some of the best times I've had in my entire life, man. I mean, we're going on to the 5th year of road trips and the travel, and man, it gets long. It gets grueling with school and stuff, that balance. But man, you look back on it and you're just so happy you got to experience it. So I mean, really, just instead of seeing it as this one big obstacle, I mean, like I said, it's not easy, man. It gets tough and it gets long, but the more you just try to enjoy it, that's the best way to get through it. And when you're enjoying it, you can find that balance of school, whatever you need to do, school, baseball, this crap. But just go in there with a great attitude and have fun with it, man, because it goes quick. I mean, 2019, my first season here, it seems like just yesterday. So, just try to take every moment for what it is and enjoy it. And I think that's the best way just to find that balance, honestly.
Kind of keeping this on you, how difficult is it? I mean, you're coming back from your second elbow surgery. What's your mentality like, and how do you, what's it like when you come back to throwing for the first time after the surgery?
Right. I mean, talk about gaining perspective, man. I mean, it's I remember saying after my first one, man, if I got to do this again, I'm hanging them up, and it kind of hit you. It hit me without any warning. So it really gains you that new perspective on just not taking the game for granted, one thing. And right now I'm healthy. My arm feels great. Knock on wood, of course. But I mean, I'm going out there. I'm playing catch, and I'm having just the best time of my life, man. I'm lucky to be here, and not every baseball player is that fortunate to be able to bounce back. And do it, 2 rounds of surgery and all this crap. It's been no fun. It's been no fun. But now that I'm healthy and whipping the ball around, it's been great, man. It's really helped me appreciate the game even more than I did before.
Kyle, man, couple more before we go ahead and let you go. Kyle Perry of Husker Baseball with us right now. One of the most important things in baseball, and I suppose softball as well, is the relationship between the pitcher and the catcher. Talk about not only your relationship with Griff a little bit, because he's now maybe not going to catch as much, but Josh Karen is going to kind of take over a bulk of that duty. Talk about those guys and just a couple of your other guys that you're closest with.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, there's and I mean, yeah, pitcher and catcher, we obviously have some great chemistry. I mean, all the catchers, up and down, there's a few of them, but I mean, I'd say I'm boys with all of them, and I love those guys, and they work their tails off, and they're great teammates. That's always a great indicator of a great catcher. They're so selfless, man. They're so selfless, and you can't not love a selfless guy, especially someone that's willing to put their body on the line and block pitches for you, because you're going to throw some in the dirt. But I mean, you just gotta love those guys. I love them all, and Griff, he's one of my best friends. He's been here. He's been here with me for a while now, and he's a great guy, and yeah, like you said, we might not see him behind the dish as much as we've gotten to see in the past, but no, we got some serious talent behind the dish too. But I'll tell you, this team is probably the closest team that I've been on since being here, truly. Just because there has been that conscious effort of trying to just treat each other, all as brothers, regardless if you've been here 5 years like myself and Shay, or or if you just got here in the fall. I think it's great. I think the boys are so close, and yeah, those catchers, man, tip your cap to them.
Well, you're also changing roles up a little bit. I mean, we might not see you coming out in any number one, but maybe in later situations. Talk about how that kind of transpired.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, I can't blame the coaches for coming up with that idea because, like you said earlier, 2 surgeries, man. There comes a time, I guess, where you got to pull the reins back and be like, all right, this is 100% my last go around. We're not going to round 3. I can promise you that. But yeah, you got to pull those reins back. And like I said, man, I'm just fortunate to be in this position in the first place. So regardless of what role I need to play on this team, man, I'm fired up and I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go for it. But yeah, it's it's obviously going to be a change going from a starter to the bullpen. I mean, I've had my stints in the bullpen earlier in my career, and I enjoy it. It's not as predictable as being a starter, but I think that's part of the reason I kind of like it. It keeps you on your toes.
All right, Kyle. Hey, man, we'll go ahead and let you go. Appreciate it a ton. We'll definitely have you back on during the season.
I actually have one more for him.
Go ahead.
It's not a serious question. Kyle, the roster says you're 6'1". I'm 5'5". You're not that much taller than me.
Oh, no, it's lying to you, man. I'm 6 foot on the dot, but that's fine. I'll take that extra inch. That's that basketball roster. You got to appreciate it.
Okay.
I was going to say, is that you're making or you're doing by putting that extra inch on there?
No comment.
Okay. All right, man.
I appreciate whoever put that.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. We'll let you go. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
I appreciate you, boys. Take care now.
That is Kyle Perry, a captain for Husker baseball.
Definitely not 6'1".
Going to be changing his role up a little bit, going from starter to reliever. And it's kind of interesting because 2 of Nebraska's, at the beginning of the last season, Kyle Perry and Shea Shannon were going to be 2 of Nebraska's 3 routine starters and regular starters on Friday through Sunday. This season, they will both be coming out of the pen. So a little bit of changes on that pitching staff that, like KP kind of said, if they can, slow down maybe the injury bug and keep away from it, that they're only going to be a better program as they go forward. So they'll open up their season next Friday, the 17th, in San Diego against San Diego. And the games online are going to be free to watch. So if you're a Husker baseball fan, make sure you check that out. So special thanks to Kyle Perry. Okay. When we come back, Super Bowl Squares time. It is the time for a crossover as well. Austin and Strick will join Rico. I got to dip out and go to class. What's new? So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, but the crossover with Rico, Austin, and Strick coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. We encourage those who go out to make smart decisions behind the wheel or plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of service: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We have just closed out another outstanding year. We want to start 2023 off with bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Koppel is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad.
A new means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
8 Big Ten running backs in their top 25 returning in 24/7 sports. You can certainly argue that Anthony Grant could be in there. Nobody would bat an eye.
That's just because the Iowa running back ended the season on a higher note. I don't care about the end of the season. Look at the entire season. Anthony Grant had a great season.
The good news for Nebraska is if Anthony Grant does fall off, A.J. Allen looks like he's going to be there. And then you have Ramir Johnson, who led the team in rushing 2 years ago. And
Gabe Urban, who was your starter 2 years ago.
So, I mean, they've got a great room.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Basketball means you're fighting colder and snow to get to the arena, waiting for lines at the game, and yelling too much at the refs. Trek CBD has a variety of products to help calm me down during the game so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after the game. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Anderson. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Sainert and Enrique Perez-Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour. Final segment here, a little crossover action with the gentlemen from On the Block, Austin Orman, Eric Strickland. Today is NBA trade deadline day, but before we get to any of those questions, I have a couple squares to give away. 3 to be exact. So my question for the text line is, name the 3 quarterbacks with the most passing yards in a single Super Bowl. Name the 3 quarterbacks with the most passing yards in a single Super Bowl. The top 3. Well, not the top 3, but the 3 quarterbacks listed as the top passers in a single Super Bowl for a Super Bowl square. If you already have a square and you know you do, don't text in because it's going to get us all mixed up.
That makes our life harder. Don't do that to us.
Don't be that person. Again, 3 quarterbacks with the most passing yards in a single Super Bowl. Qdoba guy, do you have a square? I feel like you do because you text in so much. Don't do this to me, Qdoba guy. I feel like you might be. But I can't find it, so I'm going to write you down. Don't have one yet. Okay. I'm just going to put Qdoba guy. It'll work.
Make sure you put your real name.
And Qdoba guy says Tom Brady, which Tom Brady is number 1 and number 2. So now I'm looking for 2 more. Unnamed texter, no. Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees are not on there. Jeremy the Grill Master, Tom Brady's already mentioned, but you did say Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner's on there twice as well, number 3 and number 4. So Jeremy the Grill Master getting thrown onto here as well.
Would one of those have been against the Rams or against the Titans?
One was the Rams. He was with the Rams against Titans, and then the other one was when he was with Arizona. Jeremy the Grill Master. It works. It's fine. And, okay, Eric says he doesn't have a square. Okay, Eric, well, if you don't have a square, then guess.
Get in.
Get in there.
No pity squares. Yeah, you got to earn it. No pity squares.
You need one more. No, Ted, it's not Steve Young. Come on. So Tom Brady is number 1 and number 2 with 505 and 466 yards. Kurt Warner's 3 and 4 with 414 and 377 yards. And number 5 finished with 373 yards in his Super Bowl appearance.
That's a key.
Unnamed texter. Kyle, do you have a square? Doesn't look like you do. I read pretty quickly. It's fine. Kyle does not have a square. Kyle is right. Nick Foles. 373 yards, the 5th most passing yards in a single Super Bowl. That's your top 5.
That's what got him paid.
Most importantly, 1 receiving yard.
Yep. Stupid.
That's what got him paid that money.
Thank you, everybody, for playing along with our little game. That is our 3 Super Bowl squares for the happy hour. Gentlemen, welcome in.
Yes.
How are you?
Love the shirt.
Thank you.
Or what do they call those now?
Quarter zip, pull over.
Is that what they call them?
It's great. Reunite the Villanova duo.
I just wear them. I never knew it was a quarter zip.
Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson. Did you know they went 77-9 at Villanova and won a national title?
Yeah. He got 2.
Yeah, he does have 2.
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson has 1. Hart has
2.
Hart has 2.
Jalen got 1 his freshman year and then late. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Check it. Check my math if I'm wrong.
I think Hart was there. I think Hart got the 2. I think. Well, no, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I think
Jalen Brunson.
Hart was there. Hart was there before Brunson. Brunson got there, so they played like the 2 years. They played 2 years with each other. That's what I read. I could have. It could have been wrong.
Nova won
twice, 16 and
18. Brunson was there for both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hart was not. Got it. Perfect.
I know you don't think Stricky knows anything.
I don't. It's not that I don't know. I don't know why I'm going to question you on basketball. It's just whatever. That's what I do. That's what I do best. How?
Yeah, Josh Hart was a senior.
Yeah,
Brunson was a sophomore.
There you go. Okay, I got their ages mixed up. Sir, NBA trade deadline.
Man,
the biggest of all of them. Well, during these last couple of 24 hours, Kevin Durant to Phoenix. Does that, in your mind, I know in the bettors' eyes, they now have the second best odds behind Boston. Does that make them a championship contender in your eyes?
Phoenix?
Yes. Kevin Durant pairing up with CP3, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton.
One of the things that they lost was depth. So barring that injuries creep in or they have issues with that, then I think there's got to be a team that you're going to look to. You have three of probably present the greatest mid-range shooters as well as depth shooters. DeAndre Ayton should live just like a free-range bird. He should live like a free-range bird on the court with those guys.
Yes.
Being able to do whatever he wants in the middle, in the paint. Just going to be a wide open zone for him.
And but like I say, Chris is breaking down. So if you can keep him healthy, without that, then that means you're going to have to force Booker to do something that he doesn't like to do.
Booker's going to
are
have
you
to play
happy
more
with your
defense.
back? They're not a very good defensive team across the board now outside of Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Are they going to be able to outscore you? We'll see. I mean, but
I would say probably.
But listen, the West. I don't know if it was a conspiracy right now for for everybody to send everybody west to just basically make it a two-team run out there for Milwaukee and Boston, basically. Listen, Cleveland. Don't sleep on Cleveland. Cleveland will give somebody a run.
Look at New York, man.
But I'm still not going to disrespect Denver right now. Jokic is a complete mismatch problem for a lot of those teams out west.
Yes.
You still so let's look at it this way. If we can just quick break it down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Out west, it doesn't matter if you're one. Let me just talk like the Rock. It doesn't matter what's going on at the top right now in my the Rock voice. If you're one, if you're two, if you're three, if you're four, it's very possible that you can have a problem. If you're in a playing game and you're Golden State or you're the West is going to be tough to creep up in. So if you're down in that 6, 7, 8 range, it's going to be tough for you to creep up because you still got to look up to the Clippers. Dallas has now gotten better. Teams are, so there might be a little separation that starts to happen with some of the, how good some of those teams got.
Yep.
But if you're in the bottom half of the standings, you're going to give somebody a problem. Memphis is not going to want to look up and face probably who's going to be coming like a Golden State or something like that in that round. So listen, it's dangerous out west right now. It's truly a wild, wild west.
Is the Western Conference the NBA's answer to the current Big Ten? Because I feel like the title contenders are out east. I trust Boston more. They've been the best all year long. Milwaukee has that pedigree. Do you trust anyone out west make a legitimate title run?
I don't know about so.
I like that. I like that throw out.
A legitimate title run.
Someone's going to make it, obviously.
No, I don't think.
But the East is going to be the favorite.
Yeah, whoever has to match up with Boston or Milwaukee in the finals, I don't see anybody out there as currently constructed without, after 3 o'clock comes and goes and they get to sign more people who are free agents. Hopefully Carmelo Anthony goes to the Phoenix Suns and they end up winning a title for my guy. But as currently constructed, no, I don't see anybody in the West legitimately pushing the Celtics or the Bucks, whichever one of them comes out of the East. Now, if they can add a couple of pieces, yeah, there's a couple of teams. If the Lakers can somehow right the ship, I mean, with LeBron James, there's always a chance for you to win. But right now, no, it's not. There's nobody out there that's actually that scary. The Denver Nuggets would be fun, and I think Jokic would present a massive problem for the Celtics. They would have to put probably a Jason Tatum on him.
You stick Time Lord on him.
Yeah, maybe.
Or what's my guy?
Luke Cornett?
No, the big kind of the big dumpy body guy. Gosh dang!
Robert Williams?
No. Robert Williams solid, but no.
Al Horford?
No, the other one. The
one they just traded for somebody, but he's a stretch. They just traded for
no.
Kevin
Grant.
Grant Williams.
Grant Williams.
Oh yeah,
tough, big body, strong, good feet.
Okay.
I can see him throwing Grant Williams on him.
Okay, very interesting. Like I said, the West has a lot of interesting teams, a lot of fun teams, but in terms of winning a championship, I don't know if anybody as current can do that.
Who I feel bad for is Portland. I feel bad for Dame Lillard.
Apparently, teams are calling Portland to trade for Dame, and they're like, no.
No. I feel bad for him.
Thanks for Josh Hart, though. Hey, they got Cam Reddish.
Cam Fam.
And not Svi Mikhailuk because they traded him away. But it's okay. Whatever. It happens. They got Ryan Arcidiacono. They should have kept him. Just get the whole Villanova fan back together. It would have been great, but it's not happening. That's going to do it for the happy hour. Thank you all for joining. Shout out to Kyle Perry and Nebraska baseball, who are going to be starting practice here in about half an hour, I believe. I think 2, and they're going to get their practices started. But thank you all for joining. Stay tuned. The gentlemen from On the Block coming up next. I'm sure they'll talk about a lot of NBA trade deadline happenings and everything else that's going on. So
Adios.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at thetickfm.com.